Hello everyone. How's my framing? Seems okay. We are back in the quail area. Something I discovered last night is that with the door closed, because the door's been open and the cats have been leaving this closed box alone, with the door closed, this gets colder. And it does have an alarm when it gets a full, I guess, 1.5 degrees too low or something like that. The kitten is not happy that I'm in here without them. You'll probably hear them crying during this. Sorry, kitty baby. But it will alarm shortly after I take this lid off while I'm working on loading these up. I think I may end up sitting above so I can reach everything. Let's have a closer look before I do that and then maybe adjust the framing. Let's see, I found it held the temp better in this orientation with the lid versus the bottom. I don't know why that's happening. You can see the humidity in here is way too high. I may need to dry some water out of the bottom of it or something like that. So it remembers its settings, which is nice. Oh, that's where that went. Oh, interesting. There's this. I was looking all over the house for that. There's a water-adding, squeezy bulb, and I couldn't find that thing anywhere. I knew I had seen it during unpacking. Yeah, so initially I put water through the bottom of this, and I think I want to undo that with paper towels or something, because I think I could keep the humidity more reasonable if only a small amount of the water is exposed. I also found that when the external fill holes were open, because that's what this squeegee thing is for. There was like a squeeze bulb. Just to be able to add water while not opening the thing. And I found that the temperature was really unstable when I did that. So this little spiral thing turns. And, oh, here, that's better. And then that makes these little things turn. And then it can be disconnected by just unplugging that, but you have to be really careful taking off the lid to not, yank the wires. I guess this is the temperature sensor, and that's probably why it keeps it more stable, that's then closer to the reader. Okay. Because otherwise it would be all the way over here. It does have a fan. Dries out pretty quick when the vents are open. Also, the temperature fluctuates a lot more when the vents are open, so I spent some time trying to figure out how to keep the temperature stable. Now I'm still in the process of figuring out how to make the humidity a reasonable number. Yeah, so my plan is to put a paper towel through here and soak that up. And then, of course, we'll see how many of these actually... I don't know. 30 might be too many. We'll find out, won't we? These top 3, I'm not going to put in the one that... because I tried to clean the poop off, but it was dried on, and some of the exterior shell came off. And I don't want, to increase the infection rate inside there or anything. This one, I remembered that the reason that they come out without any of the speckling is because they get laid before the last coating goes on. So I'm not going to try that one. And then this one had those big raised bumps on it, which just doesn't look like a comfortable egg to lay. So I don't want a bird that's going to be laying eggs that, mess up their insides. Poor things. So I'm going to closely inspect every single one of these eggs. And as I do so, make sure the rest of them are okay. If any aren't, then I won't put them in. And we'll see how far we get with all of this. So, stick you back here. maybe adjust a little bit what you, oh yeah, no, that should work. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm gonna unplug this, put it to the side. This is a shot glass beaker. Because they were free. Something else I did on the top of the lid here, whoop, it fell off. I'm going to end up having to tape it down, is important dates to remember on a vendor fair postcard. So today, they're going in 14 days, they need to go on lockdown, just like us. And then within 3 or 4 days after that, there should be as many birds as there's going to be. We'll get to those time points as they happen. Yeah. Just trying to get the paper towel to actually fit where it needs to go. Something I didn't realize before is that there's actually 2 chambers that you can externally add water to. One of them's narrow and one of them's wide, so that would also change your humidity rates. But it was going into alarm in the middle of the night if those external fill holes were open, and it stopped going into alarm once I closed them off. So we're not going to do that. Now let's tilt. That should help bring the humidity to a more reasonable level. I hope. So I'll just lower that in afterwards. Now you'll remember I did try the peroxide trick on some of these. They've rested for 24 hours, so they should be properly attached. I should probably keep them oriented this way, even while I'm inspecting them. But I want to look at each of them real close to make sure they're not cracked. Or anything like that. And then I'm going to keep, I also brought in a Sharpie. I'm going to mark the ones that had the peroxide treatment one way. See, that one has a poop on it too, so we're going to not do that. Since I have such limited space, I feel like I can be a little bit picky about this. But also, you don't want to put in an egg that's cracked or at a higher risk of infection like the ones with poops on them. Like a dirty egg is what they call that. And the reason you don't want to do that is because they release bacteria into the egg, and then they release bacteria off of the surface of the egg. And I've even heard of them exploding. Let's start a row that doesn't have any. So that one's dirty, a little bit scratched. Yeah, so that one's not going in. Some of these, if they're not too poopy, because having poop all over them for a whole week is not something I want to eat. That one's kind of scratched and unhappy too. And then I'll water glass them to see if they're still good and possibly eat some of these. I do feel like I can be pretty picky, but we can go back through a second time. track here. Some of these it's kind of hard to tell. That's probably just the marking. I don't know what will be in focus right now. Let's try to... That's probably just the egg marking being. The way it is. By the way, if you want to follow my very first attempt at hatching out quail eggs, please do. You can subscribe if you wanna. If you want to be alerted on progress videos, you could always hit that bell if you care to. That's totally up to you. I'm not fussed. Do what you want to do. And I'll be here trying to hatch out quail. And one of the most common questions I've had from my friends group is, what am I going to do with them? Are they just going to be pets? Because I'm a city person, and I think that's what's expected of me. But what I think a lot of my friends don't realize is that I have farming heritage. I think that'd be obvious if you look at all my videos with the garden and everything else. But yeah, they're not just going to be pets. They're going to be egg layers, obviously. And I would also like to have them be for meat. And I would also like to eventually build them a little paddock so that they can go out into the garden and eat up all the bugaroos. I think that'd be great. That was questionable. I'm going to put it down a little bit. Because I don't know if you can tell from there, but I am for sure limited on space here inside this. I did an estimate on how many would fit, but I'm not sure I was correct in my estimate at all. That said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Yeah, actually, we might be spot on between ones that aren't like 100%. You, and we're gonna put you. Let me just check the camera again real quick here. Yeah, still recording. Good, good, good. So, I think I'm going to start marking the ones that I know for sure are the ones I treated with the peroxide. And we're doing more that aren't than are because there weren't a whole lot of proof that this was a good idea. It's not something that's generally advised. But I am going to mark all the eggs so that I can be sure that the egg turner is actually working. Because if not, then we'll have to make an adjustment. So that one's cool. I like this one. Isn't that cool? How close can I put them? Can I fit 2 more? think so. These are in here pretty tight. I don't know if that's good. That was a sniff test. Okay. Well, the rest I had marked as questionable. And this puppy's pretty full. So I might just stagger these a little bit more. And then I'm going to mark all of them. I'm going to put my little shot glass beaker back in to keep an eye on that humidity. I think I'll put, oops, there we go. I think I'll put a circle on the rest of them. This is just to mark which way's up, in case I need to start paying attention to whether or not they're turning properly. I mean, obviously I'm going to have to do that at first. And then I can always take this turner system out, because it does turn, but if for some strange reason it's not working, then I'll still be able to tell that it's not working, and then I can change how I'm doing this. I'm going to have to get some tape for this because it's already fallen. Stick it this way. It's kind of fiddly, but doable. Gently moving that to get this out. Don't know where to put it. I guess I'm going to have to put it on the floor for a moment, so that I can put this very gently back, way against the wall, because that's its beep, but that beep is like wah, wah, wah in the middle of the night if it gets low. And you can see now what the temperature is, and my little reader that I have taped on the side there has a high and a low indicator for a 24-hour range, so that's how I can tell if it's been stable or not. But yeah, last night with the door closed, it was not stable. And for the week leading up, the cats hadn't bothered this at all in its current arrangement. Like this with its closed, I was just worried they'd jump on top of the eggs. Oh, I just showed you my dirty towel in the corner. Oh well, you'll live. So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you, because geez, this is a long video. And I hope you're having a good one. Take care. And yay, quail babies soon, in 2 weeks. So I'll update you in a little bit, because this is just day 2. Alright, take care. Bye.